What's up, bitty man? It's the Bronco at the front coming at you with another reaction video. Football made simple. With another banger, go subscribe to that man. Like up the original video. Get him to 675,000 subscribers. How bad players, quote unquote, exceed in modern football. That's all everybody talk about these days. No creative players. The quality of play has went down and everything has went robotic. So Football Made Simple is finna explain to us and educate old Bronco on how, I wonder what players is he talking about that's quote unquote bad. I see Gabriel Jesus right here. Hey man. Let's see what goes on.
Gabriel Jesus, Edison, and Trent Alexander-Arnold are three of the weirdest players around.
Trent!
They have one thing in common. Is Jesus one of the best center forwards in the league? Yes, but... Is Edison one of the best goalkeepers in the league? Yes, but... Is Trent one of the best right backs in the league?
Yeah, but his defense.
Yes, but... All three have a fairly important caveat attached to their name due to a significant weakness. There is almost no such thing as the perfectly rounded player, but what makes these three stick out is that their glaring weakness is what their position traditionally demands of them. Or at least that's the perception, but is any of that
so this is like
traditionally demands of them?
Damn, Gabriel Jesus sucks at finishing? No, I don't really watch too much Arsenal, but Ederson sucks at stopping? What the fuck? That's like goalkeepers' main attribute. So the title is how bad players that he put bad in quote unquote. Really, they are like unique players that survive in modern times, but they wouldn't survive back in the day per se.
Or at least that's the perception. But is any of that true? In Edison's case, at best, the eye test has him down as a decent, just perfectly okay shot stopper. But there have been accusations of him being a bit of a hologram when it comes to making big saves when his side needs him. Over the past 4 seasons, we could look at his number of clean sheets and clean sheet percentage, and that would suggest that he's one of the best around.
His shit fell off, god damn. They've been went from 94 to 94 to 63 and 52.
Sheet percentage, and that would suggest that he's one of the best around. However, this can be completely misleading, as clean sheets are also highly dependent on the quality of the players ahead of you, as well as the side's playing style. A better measure of this would be post-shot expected goals. A brief explanation of what this is. The most basic measure of a keeper's ability would be just to look at the shot saved. Wow, this keeper faced 20 shots and conceded 0. He had a great game. Until you realize that 10 of those shots were off target.
He diving deeper and deeper. Sometimes the stats be lying. So that's why you got to dive deep into the advanced stats. And the advanced stats, oh, I like this Football Made Simple. Go subscribe to him. Get here to 675,000.
So let's look at shots on target. He faced 10 shots and saved 10. Great.
Okay.
Until you realize that all 10 of those were speculative shots from range.
Even deeper.
That just about reached the goalkeeper. So the second best was speculative shots from range that just about reached the goalkeeper. So the second best stat to assess a keeper is expected goals saved. If a goalie faced 10 shots from range, the combined XG of all these shots might be like 0.3. So an average goalkeeper probably wouldn't concede from these shots. Compare that to a goalkeeper who has faced 10 shots as well, from these regions, where the expected goals might be closer to 3. But he didn't concede any, so he must be great. He saved 3 expected goals. Now we're getting closer to the truth. But what XG doesn't account for is how good the shot actually was, and if the keeper actually did anything. So for example, a shot from here would have a much higher XG than a shot from out here. But if this shot goes off target, it has a 0% chance of going in.
Darwin. Of course he used Darwin as the face of damn missed shots, and rightfully so.
An off-target shot can never be a goal. However, if this low-quality shot actually ends up here, it does now have a good chance of becoming a goal. So it has a high post-shot expected goal rating. So the best way to assess a keeper is post-shot expected goals saved. So back to Edison. So when looking at his
expected goal, damn, XG. You got regular XG, then you got post-shot XG, then you got pre-shot XG. Like, damn, now we got post-save XG.
Shot XG versus the goals he's actually conceded. In the past 3 seasons, he has conceded more than the average goalkeeper would be expected to in those situations. And in the last 2 seasons, he's below the 50th percentile for goalkeepers. Gabriel Jesus, of course, has the opposite Achilles heel: his finishing. At least that's what the eye test says. But is it true? While looking at his XG since coming into the Premier League, the answer is a resounding yes. Underperforming his XG in every single season, which is hard to comprehend. And over the last 3 seasons, he's in the bottom 30 percentile or worse for finishing. So over his 8 seasons, he scored 24 goals less than expected. Compare this to somebody else who gets a lot of grief for their finishing, Sterling, who has only scored 9 less than expected over a longer time period.
Oh, so you saying Raheem Sterling way better than goddamn Gabriel Jesus according to the stats?
Sterling, who has only scored 9 less than expected over a longer time period. Trent Alexander-Arnold poses a defensive dilemma for Klopp. Looking at his defensive statistics doesn't make for the best reading, particularly over the last 3 seasons, with his percentage of dribblers tackled, challenges lost, and errors all being in the bottom 35 percentile or lower.
I believe that.
So why do great managers like Klopp, Pep, and Arteta keep playing these players?
Because they fit their specific scheme on their team. It's about playing your role. If your coach have a role for you to play, and he say, man, forget what the role traditionally does. You do what you do best. You cross them damn balls down the field. You feel me? And play as best defense as you can, but we ain't worried about that. You on this pitch to cross them corners, slide them balls all the way down there, because that's exactly what you're good at.
And while they still considered amongst the best in their position in the league, if not the world. While players in this mold may not excel at what they're supposed to be good at, but they excel not only in other areas, but more specifically areas that are difficult to find in other players in their position. Gabriel Jesus is not just okay or pretty good at link-up play. He is elite, with extremely high numbers for passes attempted, key passes, and shot-creating actions. He's able to create for his fellow teammates. But even more impressive, while he may not be a traditional target man, his false line abilities make him an elite outlet option whenever his side are under pressure, as he makes himself available when the midfield is clogged. He's never fallen below the 90th percentile for progressive passes received, or below the 84th percentile for this stat. While the rise of possession football has demanded more and more from goalkeepers, there's no doubting that Edison is near the top for composure and passing ability. Here, he's in the upper percentile for passes attempted, despite City usually camping in the opponent's half. He rarely goes long with his passes, instead scanning the pitch for the best pass to retain possession.
But when he do long passes, guess what? 91 percentile.
But even when he does go long, he's more accurate than pretty much every goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
Trent on the ball is absolutely obscene. His creativity, both from wide when he takes up a more traditional
95th, 97, 96, 99. Expected assist, 99th percentile. The top of the top.
Inside position, when Salah occupies the width, are not far off the level of the best playmaker the Premier League has seen in De Bruyne, with ridiculous assist and expected assist numbers, as well as pass.
Kevin De Bruyne! I knew you was my goddamn favorite player, Kevin! Woo! 99th, 99th. Cross inside the box, 99th. Pass inside the box, 99th. Assist, 99th. Expected assist, 99th. Key passes, 99th. Shots created, 90 goddamn 9th. This was the 22-23 season. This was around the season when I was like, Kevin De Bruyne is my favorite player. He kind of fell off a little bit. He done made some iffy comments here and there when it came to the World Cup in Belgium that I ain't really rock with. Off the field, kept running, and but on the field, when he was prime Kevin De Bruyne, boy.
Into the box. But it's not just about creating chances. He can genuinely break the game open from deep, especially when he plays more infield, being in the 90th percentile plus over the last 4 seasons.
They used to play him in
passes
midfield a little
received,
bit.
touches, and passes attempted for fullbacks. Once again, these aren't safe 10-yard passes,
I don't know what
as he seeks to change the state of the game, with progressive passes that break the opposition lines, or raking long balls to switch the play. But these players are still a dilemma that need to be accounted for, so what are the 3 fates that usually await this archetype of player? This is possibly the most common outcome, because their traits are so rare. The weaknesses of these players will only be an unacceptable drawback if they are confined to the traditional definition of what players in their position should do.
Which means it depends
you
on
only
your
look
coach.
at their traits in isolation and not as a part of the wider ecosystem of the whole team.
That's what a lot of people do these days. When they be analyzing players, they definitely don't take into account what they do for the whole team. This kind of with me, with Rodri, kind of, sort of. Everybody shut the hell up right now. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Yes, that is kind of what I did with Roger when he came to Ballon d'Or. I was looking at him individually, but not the whole team. But Vinicius Jr. still deserved that hoe, bro. I don't give a damn.
Managers are aware of the players' weaknesses, but they believe that their strengths will help their team more than their weaknesses will hinder it. So with this option, managers build around the player. For Gabriel Jesus, this is often in the shape of his movement and link-up play, working perfectly to facilitate goal-scoring wingers like Raheem Sterling, Sane, and now Saka and Martinelli.
Yeah.
Edison allows City to bait teams higher up into the press to try and stop teams sitting deeper for 90 minutes, and Edison can then look for the perfect pass to break the game open. Trent, for large parts of his career, worked in conjunction with Henderson, who had an incredible engine, and when Trent bombed forward, Henderson would put in the hard yards to cover for him. But with Henderson gone, Klopp has built around Trent in a different way, accepting that when defending, if he's isolated, it probably won't end well. However, what he will bring on the ball will outweigh that. The second fate is a positional shift. This is less applicable to Edison, although we do see more and more of Pep using him as a high centre-back in possession. But Trent has been allowed to invert much more, especially with the departure of Henderson, and putting him in a position to take advantage of his talents on the ball. Probably a welcome change for Trent. Jesus, on the other hand, saw an unwelcome change nearer the end of his City spell. As in 21-22, his poor finishing meant that Pep, for a significant portion of time, used him wide, where he could still take advantage of his creative play and defensive effort.
What did I say? Yeah, his productions, of course. Obviously, it's going to go down, like, on the wings, because as a center forward striker, your main goal... I ain't going to say your main goal if you're in a false nine, but you in more oppositions to score.
But not rely on him to be the main threat for goals. Fate 3 is an uncomfortable one for players in this mold. At times, if you are particularly poor at a large part of your responsibility, you are constantly at risk of a manager losing patience or faith with having to work around you. Jesus found this at City, with perhaps his antithesis in Haaland replacing him, who is a lot worse at the extras that Jesus brings, but is just really good at the one thing expected from players in his position.
And y'all be slighting him for that.
But he's just like, really good at the one thing.
All he can do is score. That's his job. That's all he needs to do. What he need to do something extra for?
Expected from players in his position. Trent has found this in the international setup, where he found a manager not as willing to find a system to work around him, and that manager preferred to field right backs who are much more solid in the defensive phase.
To each his own.
On the international front, it might be a stretch to say Edison had a similar fate, as he is up against an all-timer goalkeeper in Alisson, who is good to great on the ball compared to excellent from Edison, but more importantly, he's outstanding at the goalkeeper thing, keeping the ball out of the net, and as a result, he is often the first choice. It is the beauty of the modern game that players are no longer just constrained by the title of their position, but there are also valid criticisms to be had. So do you agree with me? And what other players of this ilk come to mind for you? If you want to look at a player who had his fair share of drawbacks, but was so good that managers
go watch
were
his
more
Cristiano
than happy
Ronaldo
to build
video.
around him, take a look at
most
Ronaldo's most iconic
Champions League performance for all my CR7 fans. Let me know down in the comments, what other players in football do you believe fit this mold of having a unique talent but not exactly having the same wireframe that their traditional position requires them to do. You feel me? Let me know down in the comments. I can't really think of none off the top of my head. Can I snipe some? Can I snipe something? No, I can't snipe nothing right now, but hey, y'all let me know down in the comments. Shout out Football Made Simple. Go get that man to 675,000 subscribers like I said. I'm out.